Guys, after playing this, the Retroid Pocket Classic and the 6-button, and the Atomic Purple, after playing this, it is hard for me to want to play any other vertical handheld. But Dead Fred is here because he wants to give you the looks at all the upcoming ones in case you want to try these out. And so today, we're going to look up at a follow-up, a sequel of sorts to a handheld that we reviewed earlier last year. That handheld, the K36, and now we've got the K36S. S for sequel, I don't know, but this little handheld is here today. We're going to unbox it and take a look at it and give our judgment. And although I don't have a lot of excitement left for verticals because Retroid has nearly provided me with what I consider to be my in-game vertical handheld, we're going to take a look at this. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode of our content. Anyways, let's get started on this journey of the K36S.
Lowe's knows that the projects you build in spring are the ones you can't wait to share.
Like this bill holder that I made from materials at Lowe's. With the upcoming recession, I want to be able to have my bills appropriately. No, wait, I don't build things, and are we going to have a recession? I hope not. Hey, Deadheads, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel for the first time, new Deadheads. Today, we're going to take a look at the game console K36S. All right, guys, so like always, we're going to start with this box. And this box is not bad. For some reason, it gives me Player Unknown vibes. I don't know why I have those vibes, but this picture on the front, it's kind of comical, kind of humorous because, you know, it looks like a big fancy PC game, and this isn't going to play anything like that. However, I like the look of this. I like the font of this. We do have our K36 name here, game console, picture on the front, and then we have our, my biggest dream is to stay young forever. Yeah, let's stay young. As we take a look around the box, there's not much else on it, including not really any information about the colors until you get to the back. Taking a look at the back, we do have specs, and we do show 3 colorways here. What's even more interesting is that under the specs here, it does show 3 colorways. But guess what? There's more than these colorways, because today we're going to show you one that's not one of these 3 colorways. So anyways, let's get the box open and take a look inside. And as we do that and take it open, we got our normal stuff here. And we have our plastic. Now this thing has that huge butt hump, so even the piece of plastic here has those butt hump molds for it. Going below, we see a screen protector. Look at this thing. It's curved. It's already kind of flimsy, not very good for that. We do have our USB A to C cable, so nothing expiring there. And then we have a manual. So taking the manual out, and let's take a look at this manual. And the manual is decent, not bad. There's some information here. Again, K36S. I don't know what the S is for. Maybe for sequel, maybe for surprise, maybe for special. I don't know, maybe for sucks. We're going to find out though, right? Let's see here. Anyways, let's get this stuff back in the box. Let's put everything back in here, Dead Fred. These screen protectors, man, they're just not very good. I don't really care for them, but I guess it's better than nothing. So now we've got the box out, let's take a look and start looking at the handheld. But now that we've taken it out of the box, the first thing we have is those familiar butt humps. Baby has got curve. And I don't have the K36 with me to compare directly, but I think it's pretty much the same curvature. I don't know, it might be a little more. This baby might have a little more back. But let's look at the handheld overall. And again, the most striking thing about this is the fact that they simply removed one of the sticks. They did put this little design here, which almost looks like you could slide it over, but there's no sliding here. But looking at the buttons and testing the buttons out, we have good buttons. These are buttons, and when I say good, of the quality you'd expect from game console, the best of game console anyways, like the R36 line. So these are good buttons. I like the way it looks on this red. I like the colorways that they came out with this. The D-pad is my favorite, the Sega style D-pad. It has good pivot, good range of motion, and it feels good here. So we're doing really good with this K36S. S for special, S for, I don't know, because the other one couldn't have an S, an R36S. I don't. Anyways, moving on to this stick. Like the My Mini, which had the one stick, but that was in the center. This has the one stick, but it's in a more familiar location here on the bottom left. This is a Switch style stick that feels as normal as you would expect it to. Clicking it and pushing it, no surprises here. It feels pretty much like we'd expect it to do. We do have a select and start button, and then we have our function button right there. I think the layout of this is attractive. I think this red and white looks really good, and I think that they did a good job here with this K36 on the face. We have the same 3.5-inch 640 by 480 screen that we're all completely tired of seeing. Although, like in our recent review for the BitBoy, sometimes these screens can actually look even better. So there's still a range of quality, and I would say this screen is ranging about what you would expect from the most recent R36S lineup or K36S, K36. God, there's so many of these. But, or even the Battle XPG 350. Let's just say that. It's got a screen comparable to that. So the screen is nice. The build quality of this is nice. Moving to the back, and we have those very familiar shoulder buttons. None of that L and R only. You know, that nonsense we've seen. We have the actual full L1, R1, L2, R2 setup here, which is really nice. Again, looking over the back, we have this huge butt hump, but then we have the game console logo that's on here showing the model, which again is the K36S. This is a nice handheld. I like the way it feels. I like the way it holds. I think the hardware is good. We do have an OTG, and we have a DC port on the top for those things, as well with a auxiliary plug for your headphones. On the side, we have just one. The K36 likes one. They don't give us two. One stick and one TF card slot. So a single TF card slot along with our reset and our power button. So that pretty much is the hardware. I've got to say, you know, the K36 came a long ways. It is now a device at a price that I recommend. I didn't initially like it. I liked some of it, but I didn't think it quite met the make of the R36S, but now it's good. But if you just don't want that second stick, you want the one stick, and you want a little bit of a different design, here you go. There's nothing being reinvented here. This seems to be the hardware you would expect from the people that brought us the K36. I like the colors, I like the style, I like the D-pad, I like the buttons, I like the shoulder buttons. So, what is this lacking? Wi-Fi, no Wi-Fi, and I'm at a point where I have reviewed so many of these that if it doesn't have Wi-Fi, it better be $10. But with tariffs, I don't think we're going to see $10 anymore. So, do we ever? But anyways, so the lack of Wi-Fi in this is concerning. Now, I was able to get a dongle working, and so it does support Wi-Fi. It just doesn't have Wi-Fi built in. And now, when you can get something like the R36 Plus, R36S Plus, whatever that madness is, the 4-inch one, the 4-inch bigger screen, the 1x1, or the R36XX, which we like a lot, that has built-in Wi-Fi, it just makes this one hard to recommend over those. But let's fire this baby up and let's watch what we see as we load it up. And we're greeted with, what are we greeted with? Whoa, we're greeted with Emuelec. Is that any real surprise here that it's Emuelec? I don't think anybody should be surprised that that's what we're getting here. So we do have the Emuelec. This is a Rockchip 3326. There's the K36 logo, but custom firmware should be developing for this as long as we have the panels. I have not tried putting custom firmware on this, but I don't expect it to be an issue. We just got to get the right DTB and panels, and I know the crew that works very hard there on the Discord we'll get this going. Thank you guys for all you do. So we're going to get better software. But yes, we do have Emuelec, and I've come to kind of get used to Emuelec. And we have, a standard setup here, a standard set of games. And as I show some game footage here, this thing is playing pretty much exactly as you would expect it. We just have the one stick rather than two, but it does have some RGB, and we do have some RGB controls in it. Playing games on this has always felt comfortable on the K36. These addition of these curves do give it a nice grip, although it's sacrificing some pocketability. Getting this thing to be pocketable is a little bit of a challenge there. But overall, I'd say that this is a pretty nice handheld to hold and play. Now, we're in a day and age with all these tariffs, with all these expenses, with all these uncertainties, whether or not this is going to be worth your money and effort. The other thing, we do have a bottom down firing speaker. The speaker sounds pretty good for down firing. I would have preferred front firing, but it's not bad for a single mono speaker. Headphones are going to sound better as always, and you do have the headphone jack. So playing on these games, Rock Chip 3326, no surprises here. Wi-Fi dongle will work. The screen is what we've been seeing. It's not the best one, but it's also not the bad quality we've seen. So it's right up there in the middle area. And overall, we have just a handheld which, a year ago would have been celebrated even more. But, now it's getting lost in a crowd. And while I like the colorways here and I like the style of this, this is just not really special. So, Dead Fred, this review here. Dead Fred, I kind of enjoyed playing on this. I like the design look of it. I like the comfortability of it. It's got a good, well-known CPU. It's got Emuelec plus the ability to do custom firmware, and it seems to have a pretty decent battery life on it. So, the question comes, should you get this at a price, $25, $28, something like that? Sure. But if you're moving in that 30, 35, 40, the R36XX in that same sort of area is going to be better. The G350, even though it lacks Wi-Fi, has Rumble, is going to have a better build quality. But I can see a place for this for some people. I think between the K36 and this one, I think I probably would play this one a little more because we don't really have an R36 competitor like this, and you can play the R36 if you want two sticks. So I think there could be a place for this, but we're saturated. It's getting harder for these things to do anything to excite me, and I don't hate it, but just don't see a lot exciting about it. It's not a terrible handheld. Too bad this didn't come out a year ago, but if you find yourself with one of these, I think you'll find some enjoyment in it. So let me know what you guys think. That's my verdict in our unboxing and first look review at the K36S. Not the K36, the K36S, which removes one stick, comes in some other colors, and gives us a different design language. Anyways, guys, remember to hug your loved ones and love your hugged ones because tomorrow is never promised. We'll see you next time, Deadheads. Mom, Mother's Day, my first Mother's Day without you this Sunday. I miss you. I love you, but I know you're in a much better place. And I had the best mom ever. Anyways, guys, we'll see you next time.